Hi, my name's Kelly McGee, and I'll be reading the book 12 Snails to 1 Lizard by Susan Hightower. I sure do love to watch you work, Milo, drawled Bubba Bullfrog as he sprawled back in the cool grass by the riverbank. In fact, there's nothing I like better on a warm day than watching a beaver work. I'd even give you a hand, but we bullfrogs don't have big, strong teeth, or sharp claws, or nice flat tails like you do. You make a fine audience, Bubba, answered Milo Beaver. But if I don't get some help with this branch soon, the pond may be dry by summer. What? Bubba sat up. The pond dry? Today is April 1st, and it's the last month of the rainy season, explained Milo. If I don't get that dam fixed before the rain comes, all the rainwater will run off downstream, and our little pond will be dry all summer. Dry pond? No bugs? Wait a minute, Milo. I may not have strong teeth or a flat tail, but we bullfrogs are very smart fellows, boasted Bubba, and I'd be happy to think about your problem for a while. Thinking isn't going to patch that hole in my dam, Bubba. I found a nice strong branch yesterday, but it was a bit too big, so I took a little off each end. Then it was too small and it washed right through. Milo scratched his head. I have to figure out a way to cut a branch so it will fit just right. You know, said Bubba, my nephew's hopping class hopped that part of the creek just the other day, and their teacher told them it was exactly 36 inches. How long is an inch? Asked Beaver. Oh, I'd say an inch is about as long as a healthy snail, Bubba replied. 1 snail, you say? If 1 snail is as long as 1 inch, and I were to line up 36 snails, feelers to tails, they would measure 36 inches, right? Sounds like quite a job rounding up all those snails, Bubba answered. But I believe 36 healthy snails, feelers to tails, would measure 36 inches. I don't know what I'm going to do, Bubba, sighed Milo, sitting down for a rest. These snails are the slowest creatures on Earth. They're happy to help, but by the time I get all 36 lined up, the rainy season will be gone. Bubba leaned back. Well, Milo, I seem to recall that 12 inches equals 1 foot, so 36 inches is the same as 3 feet. How long is a foot? Asked Beaver. Oh, I'd say a foot is about as long as one of the iguana boys, answered Bubba. An iguana lizard, you say? If one young lizard is as long as 1 foot, and I were to line up 3 young lizards, nose to tail, they would measure 3 feet, which is the same as 36 inches, right? Lizards aren't slow like snails, and I do believe if you line up 3 lizards, nose to tail, they would measure 3 feet, Bubba replied. I don't know what I'm going to do, Bubba, panted Milo, plopping down for rest. These silly lizards won't hold still. The rainy season will come and go, and I'll still be chasing them. Well, Milo, said Bubba, it seems to me that 36 inches equals 3 feet, and 3 feet is the same as 1 yard. How long is a yard? Asked Beaver. Oh, I'd say that a yard is about as long as Betty Jane Boa, answered Bubba. So if I could get Betty Jane to stretch out next to this branch, I could measure 1 yard, which is the same as 3 feet, which is the same as 36 inches, right? Snakes aren't slow like snails. Since there is only one of Betty Jane, you don't have to worry about part of her running off and getting into trouble while you're lining up another part. And I do believe she measures very close to 1 yard. Bubba, Milo whispered, Betty Jane seems happy to help, but I sure don't like the way she's looking at me. How do I know Betty Jane measures 1 yard anyway? Well, Milo, I do believe that Betty Jane is 1 yard long snake. In fact, I'll prove that I'm right. Well, you wait here. Here, Milo, this is a yardstick. It is exactly 1 yard long. Put it down next to Betty Jane and tell me if that isn't 1 yard long snake. Wait just a minute, Bubba. You're telling me that this stick is exactly 1 yard long? It sure is. See, it's divided into feet. There are 3 of them. It's also divided into inches. There are 36 of them. Yep, that's 1 yard exactly. You mean I didn't have to spend hours pushing those slimy snails into a line? I didn't have to run myself ragged trying to get those lizards to stand still? I didn't have to risk my life with that snake? I could have just used this piece of wood to measure 36 inches? Well, say, that's right, said Bubba Bullfrog with a grin. I guess next time you'll want to borrow my yardstick.